Welcome, welcome. Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everyone. We are live and it is Friday. Oh, yes, it is. It is Friday. Whew. It is Friday. Oh, yes, it is. I am so looking forward to just doing my chores on the weekend. Oh, let the party begin. But here's why it's a party. You are no longer stuck. You're no longer stuck in whatever pattern you've been in this whole time. Why is that? Because you know how to start a new pattern. You know how to recognize the one you don't want, and you know how to make a new one. Now, what is more exciting than that? You get to grow and to learn and to teach. That's the beauty of living. And I know some may want to argue with me. Of course. But think about that for a moment. Which would you prefer? Knowing that you can change your patterns? Or staying in them because you don't know that you can? I would rather know how to change my patterns than to stay in a pattern that no longer serves. That's no fun at all. Because then what do we do with our time? We spend our time moping and whining and complaining and not enjoying. Some would say, Angela, there's nothing to enjoy. Have you seen the state of the world? Yes, I've seen the state of the world. And the state of the world is a direct reflection of each individual's inner state. I heard somebody ask last night, because I popped into a room on Clubhouse, and somebody asked, are we even living like the same timeline? Like, are we living in the same world? How can your view be so different? Your view can be so different because you change your perspective. That's what makes what we're doing so good. Think about the alternative. You know, it's rare sometimes that people ever ask, can it get any better? Can it get better? Yes. Same for people who believe that it cannot. The only difference is what the person's looking at. The only difference is their perspective. You can do one, you can do the other. Go out there and experiment. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he was telling me something. And he said, no, I asked him, because I don't want to say too much, but I asked him, and do you think that that's a coincidence? He said, yeah. I said, dude, you want to sing. You love to sing. And you find the one thing that you truly enjoy doing, and you audition? And you think that's a coincidence? He goes, well, I just came across it on TikTok. I said, you didn't just come across it. You love singing. Oh, wow. He is a magnificent tenor. Oh, yes, he is. Mm. Great, great vocals. And he finds this absolutely beautiful thing to audition for, to be part of this group. And he says, Angela, I got in. And I was like, well, I had no doubt you would. And he's still in awe that it's a coincidence. But if you remember what a coincidence is, the inner matching the exterior. He loves to sing, and now I keep telling you, the inevitable outcome of rehearsal is performance. He practices every day. And now he gets an opportunity. How did that opportunity get there? A man's gifts makes room. He put it there. So now it helps him to boost his confidence. That's what you get to a point. You truly get to a point if you practice the principles that you will also boost your confidence. In what? Your ability to change. Rehearse what you want to become. Angela, you keep telling us the same thing every day. Well, as I see it, you've got a couple choices. You could do or do not. But sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we say, I've had enough, right? Do you want to wait till you get to be frustrated, or do you want to deliberately change? You see, if you look at it, with some people, the frustration becomes so much. Pardon me. And that frustration becomes so much that they change. I am tired of being sick and tired. Rah. And you're so frustrated you change. Why wait for frustration when you can say, ooh, I'm so excited to see what I can become. Let me do it. Let me do it. That's the principle, is it not? Serious. What are you going to do this weekend? See, people think that to change your life, you got to be boring. You don't have to be boring. Look at what you know now. Look at what you can apply. How is that possibly boring? That should have you just lit right up to know, wait a minute, I can change deliberately. Let me rehearse what I want to become. And you're so busy with rehearsing what you want to become, you move yourself from problem to solution. Isn't that something? I think it's rather intriguing. What will you practice? What will you rehearse? Give it a test run. You know, you go to the dealership and you want to get a new car. What do? You test drive something until the fit feels right. It's the same thing with rehearsal. You rehearse and you rehearse and you rehearse until that thing feels right. And you'll know, because then you'll just do it. Test it for yourselves. You know? That's why it's a party. Look at how exciting that is. If you gaze out into the world, most people are on something. Whether other prescribed or self-prescribed, but they're on something. Trying to do what? Some are trying to enhance, some are trying to numb. Just pay attention. You are in a most glorious, glorious position. You most certainly are. So what are you going to do? Are you going to test it out? Are you going to rehearse? Your focus is not on how long it takes you to memorize your lines, aka have the experience. Your focus is on how well do I know my lines? Can I put feeling into my lines? Can I convince an audience of my lines? See, and now you're simply focused on the rehearsal itself. That is the part. Just be focused on the rehearsal itself because you know the outcome of rehearsal. That's the point I am so eagerly trying to convey to you. That's the point. Just give it a try. If you're looking at your present life right now and it overwhelms you, what would it be like if you were no longer in that position, but you were doing something that you truly enjoyed, that you were being someone you truly enjoyed? What would that be like for you? And when you ask that question, that is when your script begins to show itself. So that you get your lines. Yes. Your lines begin to materialize because you say, well, if I was this kind of person, I would be walking like this. So you start to walk like it. I told you that story about the person I read who decided to put on a power suit. She just put on a power suit and took her little briefcase out and she walked in to the Walmart. She just walked in. And people started talking to her with a different tone. People started talking to her with a different tone. They treated her differently. Because she walked in there in the way that she had rehearsed in her mind. She said, look, you see, this is a power suit. Listen to what she said. It's a power suit. So she put it on. She Like an Avenger, she suited up. Hello. So she put her suit on. And when you put your suit on, what did Tony Stark say to Hulk? You got strut. She walked in there with a confidence that she had rehearsed. And that's why people came up to her and started talking to her, because they thought she was someone. But did you know you can take the suit off and do the exact same thing? Well, who was inside the suit? But she was inside the suit. She was wearing the power suit. So she's the one with the power, not the suit. She put on the suit. She had to put on. She had to embody. She used the suit as Miss McQueen. That word, I think, is talisman, to represent something, or a sigil, I guess. She used the suit to represent what she thought confidence was. She said, man, when she left, whew, she could not believe it. She couldn't believe how people treated her. Only because she walked into that place with a measure of confidence and self-assurance. So you see, today, my beautiful friends, that's why it is a party. It's a P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta. From The Mask. Hello? So today, what are you going to put on? What attitude will you put on? Put it on. And you see, the moment you put it on, or as you are putting it on, do you realize how excited you start to get? And these are the moments I wish that we could see. See the ripples we cause. Right? If we could see, and it's a funny thing actually, because we do see. We see because we project it outward. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Because put on the role. Put it on. It's like a pair of shoes. It's like a jacket. It's like a pair of pants. So if you say, I want that security, what would it feel like to be secure? Meaning, what would it feel like if I knew I didn't have to fret and worry about bills, but I just have it, all my bills on auto renew? That's what I'm saying to you. Think about it and then test it. Try it on for size. Isn't that a saying we say all the time? Try it on for size. Try on your new attitude to see if it fits. So if you want to be in a relationship, what would your behavior like? What would your behavior be like if you were in that relationship? What would your attitude be like? Then that is what you rehearse. Because when you rehearse that, you have to act it out. Why would you have to act it out? Because that is the outcome of rehearsal. I'm curious to see what you'll do. I'm excited to know what I'm going to do. I'm excited about that. So that's why I say it's a party. Get excited about the fact that OMG, oh, I don't have to stay the same way that I've been all these years. Oh, I can be different. Does that not make you excited? Think about that for a moment. Does it not make you excited to know that, wait, all I got to do is what I've been doing this whole time? And here's the thing, you're not pretending. You are rehearsing. If your perspective is, I'm just pretending, shit's not going to happen anyway. What's the point? If you change from that perspective to the other one that says, if I rehearse, I got to act it out. Let me choose wisely what I will rehearse. I want to rehearse something fun. I want to rehearse something fun. Now, what would I be? What would I be like if I were in a great relationship? What? What would I be like? What would I be like? Well, if I were in a relationship, I would totally be like girly, or I'm speaking from a girl's perspective because I'm a girl. I would totally blush all the time I saw whoever that person was. I would hold their hand and give a gentle squeeze, and I would tell them how much I appreciate them. I'd tell them how much I love them just to see their face light up. That's what I would do. And that, then you recognize what you would do. Well, that would mean you're kind, you're compassionate, you're thoughtful, you're caring. Yes. So you see, then you become that. And what is the inevitable outcome of rehearsal? Acting it out. Oh, you got the gears turning in your heads now. The same principle applies to every single situation. You could have 99 problems. I know if you know that song, you just finished it. You could have 99 problems, but the moment you embody the solution, just the moment you do that, you change your whole life.